20 years. And one of them said, "Oh, you're down in El Paso." I said, "Yeah, how's the weather?" I said, "It's great. It's a wonderful place. I really love it." And they said to me, "El Paso, isn't that the land of indictments?" And that hurt my feelings. You can't hurt my feelings. I mean, I'm like a turtle nut. But that hurt my feelings. What you said, the land of indictments. Now, I'm trying to borrow money and get money back in. We're talking about $100 million to come down and support a building. So what you were saying, that is correct. Now, I don't have to, I'll remember most of those names, but I don't have to remember those names. I just remember, I'm not full of color. Now, if you got an axe murderer on there, I'll vote for him anyway. They've got to be better than these Democrats. I told my wife something. She said, "You can't say that." I said, "I can't say anything. I'm 70 years old. I can say what I want to." But we had an invocation. You understand I'm Southern boy, and you have invocation, and for every football game at the University of South Carolina, and we had an invocation here. And I said, in a political meeting, I said, "This must be a Republican Party meeting, because you won't have that in Democrat meeting." One of the things you were talking about, education. I also teach economics at the university. Been about 10 years. Dan, I go back 20 years. 20 years, as a matter of fact. But I teach economics. I've been puzzled, really puzzled. And I didn't really want to get into this, but I have 3 daughters of education, MBAs, and I got 7 grandchildren. And I consider, since my grandfather was dean of engineering, my brothers, aeronautical engineer, electrical, I got that, and my nephew, they consider us a very brainy, almost nerdy family. So whenever my grandchildren, I expect my grandchildren to finish high in any kind of measurement nationwide. Okay? But I have 2 grandchildren that are adopted. One of them's African American, and one of them's Hispanic. Now they don't come down from my bloodline. But in the testing nationwide, they are just as high as the ones that come down from my bloodline. And I was very perplexed about this. I really was, and I just studied this thing, and I figured it out, what was happening. It's all about expectations. My granddaughter called in her dad and said, "Granddad, how long is it going to take me to get into high school, out of high school?" I said, "So many years." He said, how about when I get, how many years to go through college?" I said, 4. "Well, how long is it going to take me to get my master's degree, like Mom?" Well, these kids, through my daughters, have expectations. And what riles me up, and you can understand why people on welfare, their children will continue to be on welfare, is because of lack of expectation. And what really riles me up, and I can't say the word because my wife's here, but I really want to say it, that the Democratic Party is stealing our expectations. They're stealing our pride, they're stealing our confidence, and I am irritated. I can't say any of these words I want to say. And this is what I'm, let me talk, let me get off. I'm not running to anything because I'm 71. Dan and I go back 20 years. And we've been friends for a long time. But this couldn't exist in a Democratic Party because he's Hispanic and I'm a redneck, and so that's not allowed under the Obama administration. But we've been good friends for 20 years. If he needed me, I would say. I needed him, he was there. And we just, both of the teachers in the University of Phoenix. So when he asked me that, I said, "Sure, I'll help you do anything you like that, but I'm all round up." But and then he said, "He said, I have a logo of a motto." I said, "Wait, there's no way, Jose. What the heck am I going to do with no way, Jose?" So this is what I did with it. I said, "Dan, you go to Austin, okay, are you going to turn your head when you see corruption?" And what do you think Dan said to me?
"No way, Jose."
Yeah, you get it. And then I went and I said, "Dan, are you going to feel like this job is yours like Sylvester Reyes called, and he was on committed to that job? Are you going to forget about us? What do you think Dan said? You getting close, you're pretty smart. Then I went and said, and the thing that irritates me the most, and I've done part of it, is our politicians do not listen to us.
Preach
And
on.
if, what?
Preach on.
Hallelujah. They do not listen to us. And if you try to have a voice, and I'm not Tea Party, I'm not anything, I'm an independent Republican, whatever. But if you try to do that, they condemn you for your rights and when you want to talk liberty and democracy. They have the nerve to do that, and we're too dumb to understand it. Not here, but that's what they're doing to us. They want to control. And I asked Dan, I said, are you going to continue to listen to us? Or are you going to turn a deaf ear like the Democrats? And what did you think Dan said to me? Well, I think that, and Dan and I talked about it, that I don't believe that we send Dan there that's going to cure everything. Okay? It just won't. One man won't do it. But one man is the start. And he's an exceptional man. He's an educated man. He's a kind man. Okay? And there's a difference between Dan and I, as you can see. Okay? He's ugly, I'm good looking. But besides his ethnic background, and we've been friends for 20 years, both of us are Catholics, and both of us, most important, are family men. We believe in our family. And so, these are the qualifications that I'm looking for. Okay? And I asked my wife, and I'll ask you the same question. This is not Dan asking the question, this is you asking the question. If we all get behind Dan for this next election, is there any way he can possibly lose?
No way, Jose.
Dan?
For coming this evening and taking this time from your busy schedules to come and join me on the celebration of Dan Chavez for Senate District 29, and also on the campaign of saying, no way Jose, to big government,
All right.
irresponsible fiscal policy, and high unemployment rate. We will no longer tolerate that. And that's what this campaign's about. It's not just Dan Chavez running for state senate. It's the No Way Jose campaign against big government. And in a smaller scale, I'm going to take that to the state level and increase job opportunities here in El Paso. El Paso seems to have a very high unemployment rate at all times. And I'm going to bore you because Dan Rose said, you know what, skip those fancy words and get down to the nitty-gritty, right? Right, Dan? That's right. Okay, so we have high unemployment rate, but we got a problem. I know how to fix that problem. If you have a problem with your automobile and you need a mechanic, you're not going to call Dan Chavez to fix your automobile, are you? But if you have a problem with the economy, you can call Dan Chavez because that's what I do. And that's the difference between myself and my opponent. I want to fix our economy at the state level and introduce policy so that we can push jobs here in El Paso and have more jobs in the manufacturing sector. And if you introduce policy to mandate that we and our political leaders look at that problem and not leave that problem until there's a solution, we might get close to benefiting from this. But if we don't do that, we're not going to get close to that, ever. So, in a micro sense, to the No Way Jose campaign. That's how we can fix unemployment. The other one is education, very dear to me. We need to really focus on education. As a professor of economics, I know, and I get students every semester, and then I feel for these students. Because you know what? The comprehension level is not there. And it's not their fault. It's our fault. Because we don't have enough initiative, not here in this room, as a whole, as an El Paso community, to change this. And we need to come together and change it. Because you know what? I ran against my opponent last time. And we got 44% of the vote. That's not bad. For a Republican here in El Paso to do that, I think that's pretty good. But, of course, you know what was happening? They used dirty politics on me. And I had it at the state level that we were neck to neck with him, believe it or not. We can do it. I know, I sense it out there. When I run a campaign, you know I walk. I'm a grassroots person. And as I walk, I see what people's feelings are and reactions are. And they want change. The problem is to get them out to vote, right? So I think sticking together, so that's why I have Oscar here, the Garza here, because it's not that time to get really for state senator. It's the campaign to No Way Jose to big government. Follow me? And together we can succeed. Together, but not separate. We have to maintain and run this race hard. Now, a lot of you here were in some of my debates that I had with my opponent last time. Raise your hand if you were in some of the debates. I really feel that I won every single debate. For the kind words. Don worry. Mr. Don love that name.
Go together.
Don, thank you for your kind words. And Gregorio, I got more. Gregorio, thank you for your kind words. Gregorio, you do fine. You do fine speaking up here. Oh my God, you're a pro. You know why I like Gregorio? He is his own person. Yeah? That's what I'm doing. Okay? Now, thank you very much for your kind words. Also, Dan Rowe, thank you.